very hard to breathe. And apparently says we never stop. Well, people will know me coming on We Are Tottenham TV and speaking to you lads will never stop.
Come
And
on.
I'm sticking to that. But I don't know how I follow KPV with talk of Circus and Kylie Minogue. I don't know I don't know what we do. But how are you guys?
Yeah, you know what it is. Going through the motions with these league games right now. 21 league defeats, but the one that really matters is on Wednesday. I mean, were you surprised at all by anything you saw today?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just waiting for the Ange excuse. I think I've nailed what the excuse is going to be when Miles does the interview and says, so 21 defeats. What do you reckon the reason was, Ange? I reckon he's going to come out with what I thought was a Friday night game and the sun was out and it was daylight. We were expecting a Friday night game under the lights. That will be an excuse. He hasn't pulled out the bag yet. Mate, listen, there's no way to put lipstick on a pig. 21 defeats in 37 games, 38 points from 37 games. It is totally and utterly unacceptable.
Yeah.
Take Wednesday out of the equation. Woohoo, we're going to a final. Well done, brilliant. We're all looking forward to that. That does not excuse the shit show that we have had to endure from August to May. It's lipstick on a pig, and today was just, it has become the norm now to just go, do you know what, it don't matter. This is where we are as a club now. It doesn't matter. At least we gave it a go.
Brian, do you feel that it's important to kind of not forget about it, but kind of like to put it to one side just for now because the final is so close? All of us to go together into that cup final, and then the inquest can start when the season finishes.
Well, that's exactly what we did for the Champions League final, wasn't it? And we're in a good spot. It just doesn't matter.
Wait. So Brian, do you think it was wrong for him to rest so many players today?
No, what I did want to see, what I personally did want to see, is I did want to see some more players get minutes. Not saying like half a game or whatever, but if we look at it, when we lost to Liverpool in the Champions League final, there were 3 weeks between the final and the last game of the season. And one of the reasons we were saying, oh, there's too big of a gap, the players stopped, lost momentum, blah, blah, blah. Well, since we got to the final, hardly any of the first team has had a single minute. So, all right, they're going to be refreshed and replenished and energy levels high, but they've had no game time.
Well, today you had Solanke, Richarlison, Son, Bentancur, Basuma.
Yeah, near the end. Near the end. So yeah, fine.
How much do you want them to have?
Mate, listen, I don't think it matters. We're in such a shit show of the state. Don't think any of it matters. I just can't wait for the next, what is it now, till next Sunday. The 9 days can't come quick enough. Get this season over and done with. What will be, will be. We'll move on, and we can just forget this horror shit show of a season.
But we'll never forget this season if we win the trophy on Wednesday.
That all right? You got to be. I will agree with you there. That part there, but that will be. Look, you got to look at it. Manchester United are going around saying if they win this tournament, this doesn't make up for the shit show of the season. Whereas we are, if we win this, this makes up for everything.
But Brian, you were one of the ones coming into this season saying you would take 17th.
I did.
And a trophy.
I did, mate. I did. But mate, do you know what it is, Ben? And I'll stand by it. But what I would have thought with this is at a bit of higher level of standard of performance.
What do you think finishing 17th looks like?
Mate, losing 21 games
would have you in 17th, yeah.
Also, having a manager that has seen that he can play more pragmatic in Europe, and now when he has to, there was a super chat you read out from someone during the watch along, or a members chat, where someone said, I don't know if he's watching right now, but he said along the lines with, if he had played this kind of style when players were fit and not heavily overused players, maybe some of those 1-goal defeats, the 1-goal trophy, may not have been 1-goal defeats.
Yeah.
There's ways of doing this. Even the teams that I supported and had my season ticket throughout the 90s, where we finished between 14th and 8th, the one thing I never doubted was their commitment on the pitch. And we had injuries then. We didn't have the high caliber of players always that we have now. Didn't have as many substitutions as you can make now. But I never left White Hart Lane and thought, do you know what? The players didn't give everything. Do you know what? Those players weren't playing. Not once. But we knew that was our standard.
You probably have a short memory. I think there's plenty of times people used to say that about all our teams back in the day.
Mate, I don't have a short memory, mate. I saw, like I said, when I came on after we lost to Bournemouth, players like Colin Caldwell, Paul Allen, David Howe, Steve Sedgley, Guy Butters, Justin Edinburgh, the late great Dean Austin. I can go on. Weren't as talented as this lot. I never doubted their commitment. I never doubted their fight for the badge. And also, if they were in a final, those teams would play their asses off to try and force the manager's hand and play their way into a final. That was the mentality of the club. We're in a final. Let's try and get I'm a starter in that final. Let's give the manager something to think about. These players don't care. They just walk around, pick up their paycheck, off they go.
Do you not think they were fighting a bit in the first half? I mean, it kind of fell flat in the second half, but first half, I thought, there was a bit of an aggressive edge.
But then what happens when we need to put in a performance for longer than one half? Like Conte said when we were second half Tottenham.
Yeah.
Like I said, Crystal Palace played full team. They're going into a final. Manchester United, yeah, they're losing. They're going full strength. They're probably testing things out for Thursday. Wednesday. What have we learned for Wednesday?
Yeah.
The first team playing, if they don't play well, we're fucked. It's
in terms of personnel going into Wednesday. Did Son do enough to you to start for Wednesday?
I think he has to.
Yeah.
I think he did look sharper. He did look like there's a couple of opportunities where, especially early, where a fit on fire Son would have taken a shot early and would have got it on target and possibly would have scored. He was a little bit a yard short of pace, but he did look lively when he was on the ball. And he had
he was a yard short of pace.
No, at the beginning, on the one shot he had when he didn't take the shot early. But then he did that traditional Son cut in and put in that curler that just went over. And that's the Sonny we know. That's the Sonny that we love. And if that Sonny turns up, I think you've got to start him. I think you have to start Sonny. He's the captain. And we need our big players to turn up. And he is the number one player that we need to turn up if we have a chance in this. And I think he's done enough to definitely start.
And in terms of the 10 and the 9, are you in agreement with me and Sim that it should be Solanke Richarlison?
What'd you say, the 9 and the 10? Sorry, so one of them just... Yeah, you could try. I mean, the only other thing... Odebear looked a little bit bright to start off with. I don't mind seeing Odebear in the 10. But again, is there enough to say he could do it on the grand stage? But I think... Those two have looked good in the European games, haven't they? Especially Richarlison in the first one, and then Solanke in the second leg getting that vital goal. And Solanke has turned up. Yes, a penalty and that tapping, but he has turned up with vital goals. So I think you got to. I think you're right. I think I would agree with you too.
So, what's your kind of nerves and feeling going into Wednesday? Any sort of confidence about you? You think we can get the job done?
Next question.
What's the plan? What's the plan to watch it in the yard?
Oh, mate, the yard, the Scotland yard, is absolutely fully booked. Standing room only. We actually they've got a sister pub next to it, which is only a mini pub. We've had to open that. That's fully booked. There's standing. People are starting to. We've told people the pub opens at 12. People are starting to queue for the standing room only at 9 a.m. It's going to be absolutely heaving in there. And Cody Mack's going to be with me, so it's going to be good.
Lovely, lovely. You're going to be calling into the fan show after that game?
Yeah, I would
Better
imagine so. I would imagine so. I've got a lot of people's security detail because people cannot run in and celebrate and crash into my nose because there'll be claret everywhere and I won't be happy. But I can't miss a final. I can't miss a final at the yard, sir. You guys have a wonderful trip to Bilbao. I hope it's a magnificent one. I really hope we are all celebrating as one as a fan base because the trophy drought is over. Then we just get through this season and then piss off Ange and let's go through the 85th rebuild.
Absolutely. Let's bring it on, Daigle. Bring it
Let's
on.
let's bring it on. We'll be here for
you got
it,
the
won't we?
stomach for another rebuild, Brian?
Mate, listen, we're Tottenham till we die, don't we? Listen, I will say I think that this experiment and rebuild we're currently gone through has probably set us back 4 rebuilds. So we're in a lot more trouble than we have at the start of any other rebuild. But listen, regardless of what people may think of me or my views and what I think of other, we are all Tottenham at heart. We all love this football club. We all want glory for this football club. How we get there is where we are obviously very, very opinionated, no matter whether it be the board, the ownership, the players, the stuff, whatever it may be. But we all love this football club and we want it to do well. And let's just hope Wednesday, we can have a reason to celebrate.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. So I want to wish you a speedy recovery.
Cheers, brothers.
Hopefully you get that bandage off your nose pretty soon and get back
Thursday.
to normal. Thursday.
I've got to go have the stents ripped out. Ben, I'll tell you one thing, I'm really going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm sure you will, mate. I'm sure you will. Let's hope you're enjoying it with a trophy as well.
Let's hope so, buddy. Guys, have a good one. See you later on.
Thanks for coming on,
Brian.
mate. We'll speak to you
See you
soon.
later, lads.